Hi, everybody. This is Javier from the Digital Experience team, and I'm going to be walking you through the interaction between Launchdarkly and our new buyer's experience repository. The audience of this would be basically anyone who wants to know about how Launchdarkly was set up in this new repository, or Nathan in particular, who's been out for a week and wants to know what happened. So I'll share my screen right now. And I'm just going to pull up my notes to the side. So essentially, under the hood, in the www repository, we had this run experiments.js file that was controlling our interactions with Launchdarkly. I linked this here because I thought this was the way that we were doing it before. And so then essentially, I tried to make an MR as an MVC to try to just bring this file over to our new buyer experience repository and see if that would work. I was running into a lot of roadblocks here. And so decided that this actually isn't that much of a viable solution and thought that, well, we have a static site generator that's based in Vue that lets us interact directly with JavaScript. And so I figured this would be a good candidate for using their SDK directly. They have support for TypeScript, which was neat and awesome. And so then I decided we'd go with that. And so this is the MR that recently got merged. Lauren, thank you for merging that in. And essentially, we have a couple things going on, and I'm going to moving to the right over here. So essentially, one is the initialization of the Launchdarkly client, which is happening here. Two, we have this function. It's essentially like a helper function that returns a Boolean based on the return value of the feature flag. So if a feature flag is evaluated to true, then this will return true. And if the feature flag is evaluated to false, it'll do that. Next, we created a launchdarkly.view component that controls whether an experiment is running or not. So essentially, this will be wrapped around slots. And so then in slot one, you would put whatever the experiment is, and then in slot two, you would have the control. So if the feature flag is running, then we want to show the experiment, otherwise show the control. And so then right now, I'm going to walk you through the process of trying to add this into an actual page. And so then I wrote some docs on how to do this, but I'm just going to run through it here in real time. So right now, let me bring this down a little bit. So right here, I'm going to check what branch I'm in. I'm on main, so I'm going to do git checkout. B, let's do test add to demo. Add LD to demo. I'm just trying to come up with a descriptive name. Okay, so now I'm on that. So what I'm going to do over here is just copy this over. And, oh, I don't know what happened there. I've been messing around with with Vim controls, and I'm still not that great at it. So just bear with me on that. Nathan knows what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna do that. Now I'm just gonna copy this over here. So now your experiment, let's see, let me go actually to that page. So if I do yarn dev over here, if I go over to that page, I think it would probably be interesting to do this. So I'm gonna do this right here. So as that's going on, fire this here. And this got pasted in kind of weird, so I'm just gonna format it in. Yeah, that's fine. And so then I'm gonna put, let's see, let's go to slash demo. See what this is actually is. Okay, so this is what this looks like. And so we have, let's see, we have feature flag. So we have, probably should have done this with the page that I'm more familiar with, but it's more fun this way. So we're doing it this way. All right, so now we have this. And I'm gonna put this in control. So then this is now in control. This is here. So then I'm gonna write something that's, let's just say hi. Or it's a good one. Or we can just add a button. Do like SOP button. Pass over test. Actually, let's say hi here because I said that I would. So let's do that. And autocomplete here. So right now, what should happen is nothing because we haven't set a feature flag. So if I go over to Launchdarkly, which is over here, I have this one that I've been using for this R. I set this here. I'm just making sure I've done this correctly. Right now I have the default rule set to false. So if I press run, you shouldn't see anything that's different on the demo page. At least you shouldn't. And you do. This is awesome. I might let's splice this together, but to make this a little bit of a better experience. But anyway, so we'll do that. Do that. See what happens there. And if I do that, nothing happens, which is awesome, I guess. Let's see. Targeting is on. Let's see what the view developer tools say. Next page, SOP container, SOP row, Launchdarkly. Oh, it's here. I just didn't choose the right page for me to do this on, which is awesome. But I think you get the idea. So then if I'm just gonna keep recording because why not? I think it gets more fun when we send these like kind of rougher looking things. I probably should have, in retrospect, picked a better page, but yeah, this will work. And I believe this is being weird because what I should have done here is instead of doing this, I should have wrapped all of this in here. So instead of doing this weird thing, I should have done this. Oh my goodness. Okay. Vim commands will be the bane of my existence, but I will learn you someday. And that is not today. So do that. That should be, it says that there's an issue. Invalid exit tag. Oh, it's because I believe wait, what did I do here? Oh, I believe I took this out and then I never pasted this back in above. So if I do that, if I take this here, I'm just gonna format this so this is nicer to look at. Look at this here. Now this should behave more like it was before. And then, yeah. So then if I set this feature flag to true, and go back here. Hi. So yeah, that's me walking through some of the changes. Some improvements that I want to look to make is right now, this function right here is exposed via the prototype of the view instance. And this means that any function can call on that Launchdarkly function. So we only want it so that Launchdarkly.view component is the only one that has access to that. So that's the only way that we can run experiments. And there's this one adjustment that we want to make so that when you're passing a query string to this, so like say demo like control equals true or something, I don't remember what exactly it is, but being able to pass something like that lets us see foresee like the control or the experiment. So that's all for me. Thank you so much for watching.